Good morning. My name is Shannan Bamforth and I'm the Managing Director for Codrus Minerals. We're an exciting rare earth exploration company that's got lots of opportunities ahead of us. So who are Codrus Minerals? There's myself, Shannan Bamforth, a geologist, Andrew Radonjic, also a geologist, as the Executive Chairman, and Jamie Bird, who's our Non-Exec Director and Company Secretary. We listed in June 2021, so we're just on 2 years old. Our capital structure is very tight, 75 million shares on issue. 35 of those are held by our substantial holder of Blackstone Minerals. And I guess the interesting thing to see in the graph is where we saw that inflection point at the back end of 2022 and the high volumes of shares starting to trade. That's when we saw the introduction of our Carlonning rare earth project. And that's really had the market interested in us. And we've had a little bit of a roller coaster of a share price. But when we get information out there, there is a lot of interest. We just need to see that sustained buying. So the Carlonning rare earths opportunity. So Carlonning is about a 3.5-hour drive out of Perth in the wheat belt of Western Australia. And what we've been able to discover out of Carlonning is, one, we've got a pegmatite that's got rare earth mineralisation with a little bit of niobium. But really importantly, we've been able to step off the outcrop and go down into the paddocks and find really good grade, continuous rare earth clay mineralisation. As a location, you couldn't be any better in terms of infrastructure. We've got sealed roads to within 600 metres of where we've got the drill rigs. We've got power on mains power, and we've got water that's reticulated by the Shire into the property. So we are in a wonderful location and only 3.5 hours out of Perth. Our maiden drilling program was just completed, and that covered 1,906 metres of RC drilling. Excitingly, in this drilling, out of the 11 holes that we drilled with mineralisation, it was really continuous and consistent in its grade. So it's just a fantastic start to the project. And to have 11 of the drill holes come through with mineralisation out of 13 that were drilled, we were really excited by it. I think it really underpins the opportunity in this project. Interestingly, we've never seen exploration for rare earths in this part of the wheat belt. So this is a real first mover advantage, and we've got a lot of opportunity with us and quite a lot of ground to explore. What we see at Carlonning is the granite underneath us is being weathered. And then in that profile where we see the clays and the saprolites, we see the concentration of the rare earths, almost like a supergene gold mineralisation. It's just enriched. And we have really consistent widths at good grades in all of the drill holes. The only two that didn't hit clay mineralisation were drilled at the very north of the project, right up against that tree line, which is essentially fresh outcropping granite, where we haven't had the clays develop. So at Carlonning, where are we? So we're looking at increasing our land holding there. We've got new tenements that have been pegged, and we're just waiting for those to be granted by the department. And we're also in negotiations with local landholders and tenement holders to expand our footprint. We'll be commencing leach test work on the sampling that we've done to date, where we had those really nice grades come through. And we're planning for follow-up work to really have a look and expand the scale and scope of this project. So where you can see the little blue circle on the slide, that's the area where we drilled. Outside of that area, we have a massive opportunity to expand our footprint. And you can see that highlighted in yellow. And to the other side of the vegetation to the northeast, also opportunity there. On the little section you can see at the bottom of the slide, what we can see is the higher grades of the rare earths in red, in that clay zone. And then as we get down into the fresh rock, we're drilling into 100 plus metres of granite that is all uniformly mineralised at plus 500, 600 ppm. So we've got a really continuous granite that's really amazingly homogeneous in the way it's mineralised. So we think that bodes really well for the ability for this to continue out from where we've drilled and to be able to really expand our footprint in terms of where we have rare earth mineralisation. And this is a key part in getting us towards building a resource for this project. Other projects in the company, in Western Australia, we have the Middle Creek project up in Nullagine. That's a gold project, really exciting. Never drilled, even though it's right in the vicinity of existing gold projects, and we've been able to find outcropping gold in little veins. So we're really keen to get up there. and do some drilling once we get some support back around the gold exploration space. At Red Gate, 140 kilometres north of Kalgoorlie, our initial drilling in there saw great results, circa plus 20 metres at just on 4 grams a tonne. We've been able to understand geologically what's going on there and being able to get gold over 800 metres of strike. So I think that's another really exciting project for us. Silver Swan, 40 kilometres north of Kalgoorlie, another fantastic project. And what we have there is the ability for gold and nickel to be discovered. We're in the land of giants there, and we're discussing potentially joint venturing that project out at the current time. And then over in the US, we've got Bull Run. And Bull Run is a fantastic opportunity for us. What we have there is we think it's an epithermal sitting in front of a big porphyry copper opportunity that it's held by Ivanhoe Electric, run by Robert Friedland. And we think we're sitting on the high-grade epithermals at the front with the opportunity for gold, copper and molybdenum. It's been mined historically for over 100 years as very high-grade quartz veins with no real modern exploration. So we're looking forward to getting moving over there as soon as we get our permits with the Forest Service. So in summary, the Critical Minerals Work Program is car-lonning and working through getting our next phase of drilling underway at the end of July. And then we're also always open to the opportunity to add more projects on that critical minerals side of our ledger, and then start to balance that off against our gold programs and projects. So the key takeaways: one, we've got rare earths, and we've got the right rare earths. We've got good concentrations of the 4 rare earths that go into our permanent magnets. So they're about 21% of our total rare earths. That's a really good ratio. We've got a fairly aggressive exploration work program planned for the back end of the year. We're getting exposure to these really strategic commodities if you're an investor in Codrus. And central to many of the decarbonisation efforts, the rare earth space is really going to be a acceleratingly, interestingly placed space in the next couple of years. And with such a small market cap, we're highly leveraged to exploration with such a tight capital structure as well.